You ever look at a huge app or some massive global platform and just wonder, how in the world did that get built? How does a big idea become, well, a thing? It's not magic, that's for sure. It's all about having a solid plan, a blueprint for success. And that blueprint, that's what we're going to dive into today. So that's really the big question, right? How does a business idea become a working app that people can actually download and use? The answer is a discipline, a really crucial one, called solution architecture. Okay, so what is solution architecture, really? Well, think of it like this. It's the bridge. It's the critical link that connects what the business wants to do with the actual technology that makes it happen. It's the master plan that guarantees the thing you build actually solves the problem you set out to fix. Now, this slide, I love this because it just nails where this role fits in the grand scheme of things. So imagine you're planning a whole city. The enterprise architecture is like the city's master plan, super high level, right? Then you have the technical architecture. That's like the nitty-gritty engineering design for, say, the plumbing on a single floor. Solution architecture, it's right in that sweet spot in the middle. It's the blueprint for one specific building in that city. See how it connects the big vision to the down and dirty details? Super important.
All right, so if solution architecture is the blueprint, who's the one drawing it up? Who's the architect? Let's talk about the solution architect, because this role, it's a big one. They wear a lot of hats.
So first up, they're a strategist, and I mean a real strategist. They have to get deep into the business goals. Like, what is the company actually trying to do here? Are we trying to save money, serve customers faster? They always start with the why long before they even touch the how. Next, they're a designer. This is where the magic starts to happen, technically speaking. They're the ones creating that high-level plan, figuring out all the different pieces of the system, how data is going to flow between them. And, this is huge, they choose the right tech for the job. And maybe the most critical hat they wear, they are a master communicator. Seriously, they're like the ultimate translator between the business folks, who speak in terms of profit and goals, and the development teams, who speak in code and servers. Without that translation, projects just fly off the rails. So yeah, this part is crucial. So when you put it all together, their responsibilities are just massive. They're not just tech people, they're strategic problem solvers. They're constantly juggling innovation with what's actually possible, making sure every single decision lines up with the company's big goals, all while making sure the final product is secure, reliable, and performs exactly as it should. No small task. All right, so what's actually in one of these blueprints? I mean, what does it look like? It's not just some simple diagram. It's this multi-layered plan that gives you a complete 360-degree view of the entire solution. Let's peel back those layers and take a look. And boom, here are the layers. It all starts with the business view. That's the why we're even doing this project. Then you get into the guts of it, the application view for the software itself, the data view for all the information, and the technology view for the servers and hardware. But wait, there's more. The integration view shows how this new system talks to everything else. And of course, the security view, which is absolutely critical. Put them all together, and you've got the whole picture. Okay, so now we know what's in the blueprint, but how do you actually create one? And what are the ground rules, the principles that make sure what you build isn't just going to work today, but will also be strong, secure, and ready for the future? Well, it follows this really clear life cycle. It all kicks off with a ton of analysis, gathering all the requirements, not just what the system needs to do, but how well it needs to do it. Then you get to the design phase. But they don't just stop there. They validate it, often with a prototype to make sure the idea actually works. And here's the key part. The architect doesn't just hand over the blueprint and walk away. No way. They stick around, working right alongside the dev team to make sure the vision actually becomes a reality. And the whole process is guided by these core principles. You can think of them as the laws of good architecture. A great system is modular, so you can reuse parts of it. It's got to be scalable to handle more users down the road. Security isn't something you tack on at the end. It's baked in from the very beginning. The system has to be resilient. It can't fall over at the first sign of trouble. And of course, it needs to be cost-efficient and simple enough that people can actually maintain it. These are the absolute foundation of a successful project. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's get real. How does all this blueprint stuff actually play out in the real world, with tech that we all use every day? Check out this example from the banking world. So a bank needs to make its old, slow loan processing system faster. The solution architect designs a modern system using something called microservices. Just think of them as a bunch of small, independent Lego blocks that work together. They decide to run it all on a cloud platform like Microsoft Azure. The result? They've taken this huge, clunky problem and broken it down into small, fast, manageable pieces. The whole process gets faster, way more secure, and a lot more efficient.
Or how about e-commerce? You've got a global website that needs to handle insane traffic spikes, like on Black Friday. An architect might go for a serverless design on a platform like AWS. Now, serverless is a bit of a funny name. There are still servers. It just means the company doesn't have to worry about managing them. The cloud just gives them all the power they need exactly when they need it. This is how a site can handle millions of shoppers at once without even blinking. That right there is the power of great architecture.
So what kind of person becomes an architect? What does it take? Well, it's this really unique mix. You need some seriously deep technical chops. You got to know system design, cloud platforms, and how to build APIs and microservices. But, and this is just as important, you need amazing people skills. Remember, they're the bridge. So being a great communicator, that's just as vital as the tech stuff. And because it's such a unique and critical role, it's no surprise that solution architecture is one of the most in-demand and, yeah, one of the best-paying careers in the entire tech industry. That level of expertise, it's incredibly valuable. And in the end, it all comes back to this one simple idea. Every single great system, every piece of software that's changed how we live, work, or play, it all started with a plan. It all started with a blueprint. So I guess the only question left for you is, what will you build?